Welcome to the stream. Hello. All right. Gonna get started with the Homestuck Intermission. Hopefully, just gonna get this one and done. Intermission. Welcome to the Homestuck Intermission. Your name is Spade Slick. You are the leader of a notoriously vicious gang of mobsters called the Midnight Crew. A rival gang known as the Felt recently knocked over one of your favorite casinos. Your long quest to revenge is finally taking you through the front door of the mansion belonging to their loathsome boss, Lord English. Your subordinates, Club's Deuce, Diamond's Droog, and Heart's boxcars have been dispatched to various locations throughout the mansion to begin carrying out your mission. Your objective is to locate and crack English's secret vault and plunder its mysteries. That's the business end of it. The pleasure will be painting this guy's ugly house red with the blood of those miserable green motherfuckers. Spade Slick. Inspect timekeeping devices. Stupid gang and their stupid, lousy obsession with clocks. The sooner all these idiots stop being alive, the better. You wonder where they are. It's awfully quiet in the mansion, sans all the dreadful ticking. Capture log carriage clock. You obviously have no idea what that means. If it's some smart-ass way of saying to pick it up, forget it. You are already carrying an item. It's your trusty deck of cards. Build fort with clocks. You have an idea that is so much better. Clocks destroyed, 4 out of 1,000. Trek for traps under the billiards rug. What is under the rug is much worse than any trap you can imagine. It is a member of a species that you do not recognize, with a ghastly furred upper lip. You cover the unsightly individual back up and try to forget it ever existed. Play 52 pickup. You would need a deck of cards to play that infernal game. Fortunately, all you have is your war chest, which you deploy on the floor. Open war chest. Shuffle contents of war chest. You rummage around. It's no unusual assortment of belongings, and nothing any mobster worth his salt would be caught plotting and scheming without. Certainly nothing eyebrow-raising. Bunch of blades, some playing cards, and a variety of other miscellaneous stuff. Also, your vendetta itinerary, and your heist map. Scavenge war chests for fancy headwear. If there are any elaborate headdresses in that, you'll eat your haberdasher. But of course, there is only a plain and serviceable backup hat, which naturally conceals 2 licorice Scotty dogs. Which makes you think that maybe you are wearing your backup hat, and this is your usual one? Hell if you know. They are the same damn hat. Hide inside your war chest. You cannot hide properly inside the chest because you cannot close it while you are inside. Instead, you momentarily pretend it is a really cool automobile that commands the fear and respect of larcenous adversaries everywhere. Beep, beep, beep. All aboard the idiot wagon. Start up the Crosby top. Is that what this thing is? You've had it for some time, and don't quite remember how you got it. You never knew the identity of this pipe-smoking creature. Perhaps it could be just the same species as the character you just saw as under the rug. But you do know that is impossible, because this one does not feature the same bizarre furred lip. They are probably different species within the same genus. Go to mspaintadventures.com. You don't know why you are wasting time on this website. It is for little children who poop hard in their baby-ass diapers. Also, you don't understand what the hell is going on, or who all these characters are. It's all a lot of nonsense. Delete the time setting on the Crosby top. Clocks destroyed. 5 out of 1,000. Take the spade key. You take the rules card for blackjack. You have possessed this item for as long as you can remember. You do not yet know its significance, though you can hustle up a mean game of blackjack when you need to. Examine Vendetta Itinerary. These are the mugshots of everyone you are going to kill. You got a head start. You already offed Crowbar, 7, Matchsticks, 11, and Quoiters, 14, depleting them of some of their muscle. You've still got to watch out for the others, and stay wary of their despicable time shenanigans. Itchy, 1, has given you the slip repeatedly. Doze, 2, you've captured and interrogated just as repeatedly, to no avail. Trace, 3, has broken into your secret hideout more times than you can count. While Finn, 5, always seems to be a step ahead of you and scoops your heists. Clover, 4, has all the intel and is highly cooperative. You might need him to crack the vault. He'll be guarded. Best to avoid Die, 6, in any direct confrontations unless you want a temporal mess on your hands. But if you need any repairs, you could always get to Stitch, 9, and persuade him. And you might need to if you can't kill Sawbuck, 10, with a clean shot. Eggs, 12, and Biscuits, 13, are morons. But they are dangerous morons. Morons. Terrible. Whatever. Cans, 15, is a tank, and your crew will probably need more ammunition than you pack to take him down. No one knows what Lord English looks like, but that'll be corrected tonight. You've got dibs on Lord English. He's all yours. Wonder where the number 8 mugshot went. It's right here. But you aren't gonna kill Snowman 8. It's out of the question. Examine heist map. On review, your schemes seem a bit convoluted. I'm slipping into Australian, so I'm just gonna stop. This is killing me. I'll try and just do the accent for dialogue if possible. Jesus Christ. This was a terrible idea. This was a terrible idea. On review, your schemes seem a bit convoluted, but you wouldn't have it any other way. Deuce and Droog split up to neutralize as many felt as they can find. Your heavy muscle and expert safecracker, Boxcars, is headed straight down to the vault. Use radio device to check on unscrupulous cohorts. You put the word out to your cronies for a status report. No response yet. You clean up all your junk and prepare to get the show on the road. You slip the spade key back into the deck of cards, then pocket the war chest. Smooth as clockwork, and every bit as logical. Enter the hallway near the main entrance. Funny, you didn't hear any commotion or gunplay. But it looks like there's already been some action in here. Or there will be. You can never take tents for granted with these goons. 13 out of 11 clocks destroyed. Apparently. Looks like Club's Deuce is getting back to you. He says he's got Doze tied up for interrogation. You ask him what else is new. Capturing that guy is like shooting a paralyzed monkey in the face. You are now Club's Deuce. B Hearts Boxcars. You are now Club's Deuce. Club's Deuce. Rough him up. He remains tight-lipped, so you deal him a senseless shin-drubbing with your crook of felony. Oh, the humanity! You can barely watch. He's probably still using his special ability to slow down time for himself. He can't feel a damn thing, and certainly wasn't saying anything, apart from a very low noise, which could be him saying ow, very, very slowly. Punch clocks in faces to establish chronology. Why would you do that? All of these clocks are lovely. You see no reason to harm them. 987 out of 1,000 clocks, unharmed. Swap hats with Doze. You begin a feeble campaign of psychological warfare. Perhaps compromising his fashion motif is the way to get to him. Nope. Looks like he's still in his weird state of stasis and doesn't care. Either that, or it's driving him nuts. Just very slowly. Dump the contents of your war chest over him. War chest? What are you talking about? All you've got is this simple, unassuming deck of cards. Play some solitaire. Don't be stupid. To play solitaire, you'd need a deck of cards. I don't see a deck of cards, do you? All I see is your battle drogue. Throw the hat down and stomp it mercilessly. Oh no. It's itchy, and it looks like he's all wound up. He unties Doze and quickly swaps everyone's hats around. Doze proceeds to make a fleet-footed getaway. The chase is on. Spade Slick, stop being Hearts Boxcars. All right, you the boss. Hearts Boxcars, you ain't. Someone has replaced your plain and serviceable hat with a silly and undersized one. An outrage beyond compare. You're sure you know who the culprit was. You can still smell his overly caffeinated blood. 986 out of 1,000 clocks shown micey. Lift left leg and hold it a little ways in the air. Oops. Four out of 15 green torsos dead. You are all wear CD's hat on top of your current one. You are already wearing Deuce's hat, you fool. The one on the floor is Droog's hat. This is exactly why you always keep a backup hat on hand. This son of a bitch on the floor has played his last game of musical hats. Soon these lugs will learn to show you some respect. You made this town what it is after all. What nothing but a bunch of dust and rocks before you got here. Wear backup hat. You deploy your chest and swap this dinky little hat with one more suited for your tastes. Wait a minute. Oh, thank God. Your precious Scotty dogs are still here. You don't know what you'd do without them. You don't even want to think about it. Dai makes his usual sort of entrance. The nonplussed, vaguely bewildered sort. B. Diamond's Droog. You got it. Club's deuce it is. You have opened your battle drobe in search of your backup hat. You also need some more rope to retie Doze, who is absolutely tearing through the mansion as we speak. If you don't hurry, you may clear the chair within the hour. But it's a big mess. You mostly just see a bunch of bombs and cards. You're not sure what's what. You can never remember which card to pick up. You can't believe how shitty your memory is. Grab Deuce of Clubs. You pick up 2 licorice gummy bears. These need to be stored for safekeeping as soon as possible. Finding your backup hat has never been more urgent. Pick up all of the cards and throw them at Doze. You pick up a bunch of cards and fling them Dozeward. Didn't accomplish a whole lot other than put some of your private reading material on embarrassing public display. Black inches. Licorice, licorice, licorice. As far as the eye can see. Pick a kite, any kite. You're a busy guy, so you just pick up any old thing and put it on your head. Since you are in a big hurry, you will assume that it is your backup hat. You stand nearby the 2 remaining cards on the floor, an off-suited king and jack. Pick up card depicting stately, blonde-haired fellows. You aren't going to stand around Jack King off all day long, so you grab the Jack of Diamonds. Oh, here's your backup hat. Problem solved, you guess. Club's Deuce. Forget you are Club's Deuce. Believe you are Hearts Boxcars. You suddenly remember you are Diamond's Droog. Whoever took your hat is about to discover he's the unluckiest man on earth. You better hope you find him dead. What you're gonna do to him will be much less painful that way. Wear backup hat. You don't have a backup hat. All you have is this deck of cards. Oh, wait, yes, you do. It's stashed away in your Brawsaulium. Retrieve hat from Brawsaulium. Brawsaulium? Jesus. You are the only member of this band. You are the only member of this band of thugs who is civilized enough to keep more than one backup hat, as well as an extensive array of finely tailored suits. The Brawsaulium seemed like the best storage option for your exceptional wardrobe. If there's any better sort of compartment to keep your wardrobe in, you'd love to hear it. Also, there's a shitload of guns and cards in there too. You put on a backup hat. Withdraw licorice fish from backup hat. Phew, you sweetest fish are there. This is why it's a good idea to always store your candy in your backup hat rather than your usual one. Other members of your gang have learned this the hard way, and they're finally starting to catch on. Suddenly, you get cold-cocked in the face from the future. You know the knuckles belonging to that sucker punch anywhere. Trace always knows where you've been. This spineless rat likes to follow your past trail around and mess with you. Trouble is, whenever he does, he lets you know exactly where he's going to be in the future. This time, you'll be ready for him. You radio Deuce for backup. Give him a time and a place, and exactly what path through the mansion to take. Diamond's Droog. Resume pursuit of wounded felt member. You don't know if the wounded guy went up, or down the stairs, or who wounded him, and when. Might have even been you, for all you know. Follow trail of blood up the stairs. Can't overthink this time stuff. You go with your gut and head upstairs. Club's deuce. Follow Diamond Droog's instructions. After giving a quick 10-4 over the radio, you take another look at your prisoner. He lucked out. Looks like round 2 of your brutal interrogation will have to wait. You couldn't find any rope, so you tied him up with a Stretch Armstrong doll, which you happened to have lying around. You don't remember how you got it. It looks sort of dumb, but it will have to do. Just lock Doze in the battledrobe. Time to hit the road. You beat your hostage into the back of the battledrobe with your bull penis cane. Wait, this is a bull penis cane? You flip the fuck out over the fact that this is apparently a bull penis cane. Meanwhile, running roughly parallel with present events. Looks like Itchy has 3-of-a-kind kings, while Dai has 3-of-a-kind aces. Oh my god. The 2 of spades got turned into the Scotty dogs. And Itchy replaced the 8 with another king to get 4-of-a-kind. Itchy always cheats. But he's always cheated for the last time. You're gonna jump to a timeline where he's dead. Looks like he got what he deserved. But, as usual, you find yourself in a bit of a predicament. Spade slick. Make friends with Dai. You introduce your cast iron horse hitcher to your new friend. Dai scrambles for a pin he's been saving for a special occasion. How many times does he have to tell you? He made this town. Hearts boxcars. Stop being spade slick. You stop not being Hearts boxcars. You have made your way to the Felt's secret vault. It's bigger than you were expecting. You doubt you will be able to rely on your usual safe-cracking method, which is prying it from the wall with your bare hands. You'll have to think of something else. Hearts boxcars. Do a silly dance. This is just absolutely the most ridiculous thing you could possibly choose to do right now. I mean, come on. Why don't you take a closer look at that safe? Seriously, stop that. Pry the wall from the safe. That notion is even more ridiculous than the last one. Looks like the combination to the safe is entered via the hands of the clock, and you somehow doubt spinning the hands around manually is going to cut it. Knowing these guys, you gotta alter the flow of time itself to make it work. Which, of course, is bullshit. You think you'll just blow it up instead. Time to get Deuce on the radio. Deploy Punchbox. You deploy the Wrath Tub. Retrieve 2 of hearts from backup hat. You retrieve your pair of wax lips. If anyone tried to steal your wax lips, you would eat their eyeballs and deliver an angry lecture into their empty sockets. Peruse Red Cheeks magazine. Just glancing at it gives you palpitations. Literature for avid cardio aficionados such as yourself. Those burgeoning red humps. That mischievous little tail. The snug, welcoming cleft. The saucy imagery is hard to beat. Harder than what you beat inside your chest now. Your heart is what you're beating. You beat it to Red Cheeks magazine pretty regularly, you'd say. Call clubs on nearest cod. You radio Deuce on the 10-4 cards. Let him know you need a powder monkey on the double. You hear ticking. And it's not coming from the big vault clock above. You hope it's not what you think it is. Oh, oh no. Oh God. It's Biscuits! His oven timer is ticking. Oh, this is no good. Ah, there he is. This idiot thinks his special oven transports him into the future by the amount he sets on the timer. Well, he's sorta right. But in reality, all that's happening is he's hiding in there until the time is up, and then pops out. You guess he's relatively harmless if he's left alone. You can take him. What you really need to worry about is if he teams up with... Oh no. That ringing, that god-awful ringing, you can hear it. You can hear it. Eggs. Son of a fuck. You might as well grab one of your axes and kill yourself now. Clubs Deuce. Follow path. In the future, you've already followed the path through the mansion that Droog told you to. Trace followed Droog's past trail even further back, but found a much fresher trail crossing his path. Looks like this little guy's talking on the radio. Says something about how he'll be right there once he gives Droog a hand. Trace decides that he'll trace this guy for a while, see what he's up to. And then mess with him, of course. In the present, you talk on the radio. Say something about how you'll be right there once you give Droog a hand. Diamond's Droog. Take a good look around the new room you're in. Looks like the trail of blood begins here. It looks like the trail of blood ends here. Or originates. Whatever. Something went down here in the past. Or is it about to go down in the future? Hey, you know what? Never mind. 21 out of 1,000 clocks destroyed. Apparently. Hang on. There's a tooth on the floor. You know that tooth. You felt its bite before. Finn was here. And judging by the forensics of the scene, the angle it hit the floor, and the direction of the blood splatters of how dry the blood is, you think you know exactly what he's about to pull. Or more specifically, what he's about to have already pulled. Finn always knows where you're going. He's followed your future trail here. He likes to mess with you from the past. Trouble is, he tips you off to where he's been. This time, you're ready. Wait for it. Wait. Now! Predestined bullet holes are convenient. Gives you something to aim for. 7 out of 21 clocks re-destroyed. Spade Slick. Rematerialize. Now that doesn't make any sense. You never went anywhere. Die realizes there is a cost to settling the score with you in this way. The cost is having to live in a desert amidst the ruins of a dead civilization for the rest of his life. He thinks that's stupid, so he pulls your pin. Help the green man live up to his name. Take Voodoo Doll. You grab his voodoo doll and stick his pin in there for good measure. Might as well keep track of everyone you've off this way too. Not that you intend to abuse its power to settle your score. What's the point if you're not going to get your hands dirty? Still, it might come in handy down the road. Lloyd English is supposedly indestructible. He's rumored to be killable only through a number of glitches and exploits in space-time. The doll may ultimately help you wake the system if it comes to that. Clocks. Destroy them. 29 out of 1,000 clocks destroyed. 5 out of 15 green torsos dead. Diamond's Droog. Follow Blood Trail downstairs and finish him off. Problem with that is he'll just see a future trail following him, and there'll be nothing but a loud invitation for him to mess with you some more. Besides, it's better to just leave him alive. You think you know where he'll lead you to. Just gotta be a little more subtle about tracing his blood trail. Keep your future trail out of his line of sight. Spade Slick, return to being Heart's boxcars. Spade Slick obviously cannot return to being Heart's boxcars, because Diamond's Droog is too busy being Club's Deuce. You just watch Trace throw a punch into thin air for some reason. That guy's awfully silly. And he skulls off somewhere. You don't realize he's following Droog's past trail through the mansion until he gets to the point where it intersects with your trail, at which point he'll start following you. But we all realized it, because it's obvious and couldn't possibly be more clear. Implement nefarious scheme. You follow Droog's simple instructions. So simple, even a forgetful nincompoop like you can remember. There is a blood trail on the floor that goes in a different direction than Trace went. You decide to follow it, because that sounds like a really good idea to you. If there was something you were supposed to do after helping out Droog, you'll be damned if you remember what it was. Trace catches up to where you were, but you're gone already. All he sees is the long, gross, rubbery arm of your past trail stretching through the room. He finds his comrade tied up with the stretchy rubber arms of a small man, but there is nothing gross or unpalatable about that in the least. Doze unslows himself and begins mumbling something feverishly. About his hat. There's a bomb! Poof. 7 out of 15 green torsos dead. 107 out of 1,000 clocks destroyed. Finn makes his way through the mansion to get some help. He wonders where this little guy is going. Deuce's future trail is heading in the same direction he's headed by sheer coincidence. Finn decides to follow him for a bit, keep an eye on him. As long as Deuce's path matches his, that is. There's pretty much no chance he's headed to the same place, though. That would be statistically improbable. He's got no idea what these other goons are up to here. Funny, their future trails end here. He's not gonna stick around long enough to find out why. He's a bit too woozy from the blood loss to sort out this mess anyway. Club's Deuce. Follow the Red Blood Road. It's uncanny. This little guy's matching Finn's route every step of the way. He must know something. Finn decides he's got to take him out. But he can't get a clear shot. Too dizzy. With all that C4 under Deuce's hat, firing would be a bad idea. My God! He's thought of everything. Clearly dealing with a criminal mastermind here. You stop to admire this gorgeous clock. It is so pretty. Too bad it's not ticking like so many of the clocks in this place. Not that you can blame them. There are so many clocks in this mansion, it would obviously be impractical to make sure they all work properly. Oh, look. A trail of blood. You think you'll start following it. Heart's boxcars. Waste exactly 4 hours on this tomfoolery. You hate time travel. 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 Above, a spectator has appeared at the strike of 4 and has been giggling at your foolishness for a number of minutes. Clover would have been tickled to help you open this vault, at the cost of answering a few of his clever time riddles that, needless to say. If only you'd thought to seek his help first, rather than charging in like the silly brute you are into this deadly trap of stable and not-so-stable time loops. Mostly unstable, really. These guys are way too dumb to maintain even elementary looping stability for more than a couple of iterations. If you weren't so preoccupied, Clover could tell you that you could use Crowbar's help to pry anything out of a time loop, stable or otherwise. If you weren't so preoccupied, and if he weren't so dead, Stitch mutters to himself in his shop. He guesses eggs and biscuits are roughhousing again. 'Cause the fabric of space-time is tearing something fierce on Lord English's Cairo overcoat. This sort of thing is exactly why he keeps a backup coat and always leaves Stitch with one of them. Any gang does well to have an in-house doctor on hand. But if you deal in time travel, you better have a damn good tailor too. After all, a stitch in time saves 9. Art's boxcars. Call Spades for backup. You tell Slick to get his scrawny ass to the vault. It's goddamn bedlam in here. You tell him you asked Deuce for backup, but surprise, surprise, he's nowhere to be found. Big surprise, you tell him. You tell him that was sarcasm. He says he knows. Slick says he'll be right there. He'll see if he can round up Droog for support. Droog says Deuce is tailing Finn, while he is tailing Deuce. He'll be there to help out Boxcars as soon as he and Deuce take care of the business with Stitch. Couldn't be simpler. Oh yeah, he also mentions he pumped Finn full of lead, so you can cross him off the list. You roger all that. Finn busts into Stitch's workshop, blubbering something about watching out for the little guy, who's about to come in here. He says to watch out because he's got a bomb on his head, which is undoubtedly quite volatile, and even the slightest spark would surely set it off, as with all forms of plastic explosives. Stitch sees Finn's obviously in pretty bad shape, and checks his effigy. Sure enough, the thing's in tatters, but he should be just fine if it can be patched up before he bleeds out. Oh. Before he bleeds to death. 8 out of 15. Green Toyso's dead. Club's Deuce. Burst in, thrusting bull penis cane. Everybody out of the goddamn way. You got a hat full of bomb, a fist full of penis, and a head full of empty. Alright, 1 second. I gotta... Stitch says drop the livestock knob and settle the hell down. He says you do realize C4 is a stable explosive and won't detonate with gunfire, right? You say, oh. Diamond's Droog. Sneak into Stitch's boutique. Drop it and get in. Don't bleed on the suits. Stitch says, huh? You admit the thought of carrying an imprisoned tailor wherever you go is gratifying for personal reasons. But in this case, keeping him alive should be useful in dealing with English later. Art's boxcars. Prod idiots with red cheeks. This predictably accomplished nothing. Taking your smut out of hiding turned out to be a very bad idea. Now copies from the future are appearing left and right, and these clowns have their paws all over it. Slick, where the hell are you? Spade Slick. Remove Crowbar's pen. Zap. Oh my god, you clipped it? I love you so much. Oh my god, thank you. That was beautiful. Crowbar's alive again, and a whole bunch of other stuff is different. You forgot this gang almost seems halfway competent when he's running the show. The good news is you get to kill him again. Spade Slick. Insert and quickly remove Snowman's pin. You have no idea how much you'd like to. But even you are not that crazy. Still, kinda tempting. Speaking of Snowman. You couldn't do that to her. If you did, you'd be doomed. Hold still, Slick. Something in your eye. Everyone always ceases gunplay when Snowman's around. If you kill her, you destroy the universe. Spade Slick. Remove knife from eye. It's not a knife. It's Snowman's cigarette holder. All you know is she's gonna have a hell of a time if she wants to get it back. Give it to Sawbuck. You chuck the lance at Sawbuck. But of course it's only a flesh wound. Seems like that's the only sort of wound you can ever inflict on the corpulent lummox. Consequently, you and he both jump to a random point on the timeline. This looks to be in the recent past, when Stitch and Crowbar were setting up the crates for the imminent gunfight. Which was very thoughtful of them. Your goons should be showing up any minute with the heavy firepower. For now, you've got the drop on everybody. Spade Slick. Kill something out of rage and frustration. Stitch gets the business end of your sable rattle. He's dead. In this timeline, at least. Bring knives to a gunfight. Where do you think you're going, fatty? You'll deal with him in a minute. You whip out your double-edged sword in Occam's razor. Occam's razor. Crowbar's head. Make it happen. Crowbar deflects the king of spades into Sawbuck's unmissable carriage. You jump far into the past. Which is to say, the present, for the time being. A scurrilous straggler eyes the impromptu desert skirmish. He dismisses them as a bunch of ill-mannered rogues warranting no further investigation. Though he gives a small nod of approval to the plain and serviceable hat worn by one of the combatants, which strikes him as an absolutely smashing display of good fashion sense. Hit Crowbar in the head. You can't kill him yet. You need him alive to return to the original timeline. You will be taking that crowbar, though. Stuff him in your deck of cards. You cram him in the war chest. Sawbuck you need to keep alive too, for the moment. Not to return to the right timeline, but the right time. Speaking of which, where's Tubby think he's waddling off to? Just go stab Sawbuck until the time shenanigans stop. You treat him to a bit of the old bait and switchblade. You appear in the future. You guess this is after the gunfight is over. The gunfight that never took place, since you killed/kidnapped everyone who was supposed to be involved. Looks like only Boxcars is here. Carry Sawbuck like Titan Atlas would carry the world. You order Hearts to drop his tub on the double before this fat lard puts you in a wheelchair. If you take Sawbuck back to your own time and kill him there, that should save you the trouble of hunting him down. Might as well take Stitch too. Maybe. You're not really sure if that's how it works. You don't really care, though. You dump them in the wrath tub, then stick the tub in your own deck of cards. But you give Boxcars back his sordid literature, which he'd carelessly left in plain sight. No one will ever catch you leaving your smut around. And even if you did, that copy of Terrier Fancy magazine could belong to anybody. Nobody could prove nothing. Stick Crowbar's pin back in again. You go back to your original timeline. But now, stuffed in your chest, you've got a live crowbar from another timeline. Yes, Terrier Fancy. Brought to the timeline where he's supposed to be dead. So you guess now he's alive in this timeline, which is in part defined by his death? Okay, whatever. You should probably just kill him again anyway. Also, Sawbuck from another timeline's in here too. So you guess now there are 2 Sawbucks? This is getting kinda dumb. You open the chest, releasing them both. Crowbar doesn't look too pleased. You deflect his gunfire into the awesome gravitational pull of Sawbuck's astonishing girth. Everybody in the past. You dodge his next round, too. It seems Sawbuck from this timeline, i.e. the real Sawbuck, was in this room at this point in time. He and Crowbar exchange bullets. Off they go. They no doubt go on to spend the rest of their ammunition peppering each other throughout the timeline, destroying all these clocks in the process of between now and the present. You guess that explains the mess when you got here. Thank God you figured that out. You'd surely have lost sleep over it. 20 out of 107 clocks re-destroyed for the first time. Actually, you know what? Never mind. Take a moment to think up some time-based one-liners. Okay, you think you got one. Time travel sure can be a double-edged sword. Wait, that was awful. Really, really bad. You're sure you can do better than that. Let's see. Sorry to... Nah. Time's running... no, wait, fuck. You ask yourself from the past for a little help. Time's... Something about time. Time being up? No, wait. How about some kind of clock pun? Now, damn it, will you just listen? You were almost onto something. Time is... screw it. Too many cooks in the kitchen. Oh, and what is this quivering mound of blubber think he's up to? Stab first, utter puns later. Just as you hear your past self asking what happened to your eye, you jag Sawbuck with your butterfly effect knife. You remember a little while ago asking yourself about your eye, and not giving yourself an answer just before disappearing. Maybe, if you stopped and thought about it for a second, you could have warned yourself and avoided the whole mess, albeit in the process of creating a paradox. But your strict policy of stabbing first and asking questions later prevented it. You're sure your past self understood. You are sure of this because you clearly remember understooding. You are now past Spade Slick again. You were just about to pull Crowbar's pin. You guess all that stuff with your future self and Sawbuck originally happened in this room while we were all off watching something else, like Diamond's Droog or something. That makes sense. Pass Spade Slick. Remove Crowbar's pin. A whole bunch of shit happens that we already saw. Be future Spade Slick. Being your future self is a lot more constructive because you get to do stuff you haven't already done. Looks like you're in the future. It's a bloody mess in here. The clocks are more bullet-riddled than ever. And it seems both Crowbar and Sawbuck have been both Sawbucks have been decapitated. You're almost certain this is something you will be, or were already responsible for. Which, of course, means more time traveling. Looks like the tub and chest are gone, which means future you must have packed up and left already. Gotta take note of these sorts of things, so you know where you are on the timeline. And notice something on the wall over there. One of the clocks wasn't destroyed before, and is now bloodied and full of holes. Not especially noteworthy, you just have a feeling you should register this fact. 108 out of 1,000 clocks destroyed. Quickly remove Lance from Sawbuck. You pry the cigarette holder from his torso. Whoops! Another time jump. This tub of goo keeps going for his gun. Wide body's gotta settle his big ass down. You really should incapacitate him without inflicting another wound. Knock Sawbuck unconscious. Count some sheep, bitch. Wait, the clock on the wall. It hasn't been destroyed yet, but it's about to be. It's ticking down to the time it's stuck on in the future. Maybe if you time it just right, you can end this whole mess in one fell slice. You've got an ice-cold one-liner to dish out when the time comes. You've been working pretty hard on it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Hate to cut. Wait, no, not yet. Wait for it. Hate to... No, wait. Hate to cut and... Damn it! Not yet. Hate to cut and run. Shit. Hate to chop off all your heads with this sword. Real sorry about that, my bad. You slay them all with your rapier wit. 9 out of 15 green torsos dead. 2 out of 9 green torsos deadened twice. 1 out of 15 green torsos dead for the first time, but it's an alternate universe torso, so you guess maybe it doesn't count? 7 out of 108 clocks gratuitously redestroyed. You grab the tub and the chest and move on. That is altogether enough of this nonsense. Call spades. Diamonds Droog, call spades. You check up on Slick's status. Slick says he killed Crowbar again, Sawbuck twice, and Stitch once. You ask if it was an alternate timeline Stitch. He says he guesses so. You say that doesn't count. You've got the real one here. He mutters some foul language you can't make out. But you tell him never mind and hurry down to meet you at the vault. He says he took some damage from Snowman. You say you know. You're having some effigies made of yourselves with your backup hats. Deuce brought Slick's crumpled backup hat, which he wound up with somehow. Not sure what happened to Deuce's. Boxcars is obviously tied up at the moment, so you can't get your hands on his yet. Slick says he's got both the hats and he'll be down ASAP. You say all right. He says in the meantime, see what you can do about this eye. Have Stitch patch up Spade Slick's effigy. Get to work, Thread Monkey. Have the right eye patched up. Damn it! Your sprite was flipped the wrong way. You get Diamonds on the radio and tell him to undo it and wait until you've turned around. He says it's the right eye, right? Well, you're facing left or right. He says it's only right when facing... You say it's only right when facing left. It's the left eye when facing right. He says, oh, so it's the left-right eye. You say, yeah, but hang on a minute. You'll turn around so it's right-left. He says, okay, he'll wait. That's better. Arm yourself, in case Cans shows up. If Cans shows up, none of these weapons you've got are gonna do any good. You admire the lance for a moment. It's a pretty sweet weapon with outstanding craftsmanship. At least you got something out of the eye gouging. She'll have to pry this thing from your rigid, severed arm if she wants it back. Ride around on horse hitcher, pretending to joust. Yeehaw! Oh, shit! You can't believe she saw you horsing around like that. You will never live this down. Puff. Diamond Stroog, shoot up biscuit and eggs effigies. Stitch keeps their effigies in a big warehouse several miles away because of their ridiculous duplication tendencies. You're sure as hell not going to drive all the way over there, so you just shoot at them in person. This was such an unbelievably terrible idea. Spade Slick. Charge! This is incredibly delirious biz nasty. This is incredibly silly. Solid reference. Boom! Spade Slick. Start whacking things with the crowbar. The first thing you whack is Eggs' egg timer. You do this because, of course, you know that Crowbar's crowbar will destroy any temporal artifact and completely negate its effect on the timeline. Poof. Hearts Boxcars. Attempt to eat eggs. Your attempt was an overwhelming success. Biscuits is looking a tad snug in his muffin tray. He thinks it's about time to poke a broom straw in this battle. His dough will live to rise another day. See you in the future, suckers! Crowbar. Biscuit's oven. Make it happen. You deal the oven a wicked flogging, but not much happens. The oven doesn't really have any magical time properties to be negated. It just travels into the future at a rate of 1 second per second, like everyone else. Club's Deuce. Put dynamite in oven. You set the bomb to go off in a few seconds, when both it and biscuits are released from it in a few hours. Club's Deuce. Turn up heat on biscuit's oven. You're pretty sure this oven doesn't actually work at all. You just wheel it off somewhere else in the mansion so it can explode in peace. In the future. Boom! 12 out of 15 green toy so's dead. Probably some more clocks destroyed too. Use crowbar to pry the safe open. Since your expert safecracker apparently spent the last 5 to 6 hours being totally useless down here, you figure it's time to take things into your own hands. Huh? What's this little fella all worked up about? Clover insists that you reconsider. Using that to pry open the vault would be ever so much bad luck. Like breaking 1,000 mirrors all at once. Sort of mirrors that tick and have numbers and tell time and stuff. That is the worst kind of mirror to break, luck-wise. Politely ask Clover to remain calm. He refuses outright and starts doing a really frisky jig. Doody doody doo doo, doody doody doo doo. He begins spinning a fanciful series of riddles, illuminating the true path to opening the vault. Mysterious music fills your ears as your mind assumes the shape of a pretzel. Doody doody doo doo, doody doody doo doo, doo doo doody doo doo doo, doody doody doo doo. This is how the music would sound if we were listening to it right now. Diamond Stroog. Ask Clover for the ultimate riddle. Also, one moment. Lucky quote 7. You ask Clover to open the safe. Oh, what's this? You think you can shoot Clover? He's so lucky the gun will probably jam or something predictable like that. Nice try, though. You just start whacking him with a newspaper instead. You don't have to be all that unlucky to get whacked around with a newspaper. It's just sort of a gray area. Check personal ads of periodical. The gray ladies. No clothes. No shame. No chroma. Her gray area exposed. Gray ladies are the sexiest ladies. This isn't a real newspaper. It's just a wrapper for your private sordid literature, which no one can ever see. Uh-oh, it's slipping out a bit. Your appetite for monochrome beauties is nearly on public display. Gotta keep a lid on that smut, especially with Clover around. Ogle. Suddenly, the whole vault room is shaking. You wonder what that could be. It sounds suspiciously like Hans is about to plow through the wall Kool-Aid Man style. You pray to God that it is not Cans about to plow through the wall Kool-Aid Man style. All of a sudden, Cans plows through the wall Kool-Aid Man style. Resist urge to shout, "Oh yeah!" Oh no! He punches you into next week. You find yourself going about your business a week later. Looks like you're doing a little bit of grocery shopping. You're a little bit confused, having no memory of the previous week. You have no idea what's on your grocery list. Are you out of milk? What kind of produce do you need to stock up on? It's all a little overwhelming. And to make matters worse, the selection has too much prices and values. Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff go shopping. In Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff go shopping. Jeremy. Not all cans are the same. What's the difference? The selection has too many prices and values. God damn. It's like, who fucking needs this fucking bullshit? It's so infuriating. Shit. Where's the manager? And there he goes. He has the manager's attention. And now the police are involved. Jesus Christ. Oh my fucking God. I can't believe what he made take place. Art's boxcars use Eggs's body as bait for cans. Battle technique. Torso flail. You flail the torso Can's words in an attempt to placate him with the red meat. Torso flail. He is temporarily placated by the red meat. This is what the reference. Pow! The spirited horse. The wind of heaven is that which blows between a horse's ears. Arabian proverb. It doesn't work! Cans clocks boxcars entirely out of the current calendar year. You land in a totally different, outdated calendar. Looks like this one's themed with spirited horses. You'll be up to your asses in horses for a whole year. Just great. This is what you need to be doing. Farming all these goddamn horses. Fucking pain in the ass. Spade Slick. Ignore him and just pry the safe open. You don't care what the consequences are. You're going to crack open the safe and be done with it. This whole intermission was starting to get a little punchy anyway. Boom! Blah blah, huge bitch. The massive release of temporal distortion from the vault transports you to a highly unfavorable timeline. Looks like the entire mansion was leveled, except for the vault and its enclosure. Everyone's dead except for you and you know who. But at least the safe's open. 1,000 out of 1,000 clocks destroyed. 14 out of 15 green toysos dead. 3 out of 4 black scofflaws offed. Enter the vault. There's nothing in here except an opening in the floor. There is a door with a keyhole, and you have a feeling you know how to open it. You only wonder why English's treasure would be locked behind a door with a spade on it. Spade Slick. Dramatically use the spade key. You guess this is what the spade key was for all this time. You dramatically wield the spade key in a matter-of-fact manner. Peek inside keyhole. What keyhole? It was clearly a barcode scanner all along, like the kind they sweep groceries over at supermarkets. That reminds you, you should really do some shopping next week. You're not going to peek inside because the lasers could blind you in one eye. Oh, wait. Use rules card for blackjack. This was never a problem because there is clearly a barcode printed on your rules card for blackjack. As well as your arm. But there's nothing wrong with a little redundancy, you guess. Get on with it. Huh? Oh, are you looking for this? Well, come and get it, you contemptuous she-witch. She's gonna have to pry that out of his rigid... What was it again? Snowman's black inches no doubt have been responsible for more than a few red cheeks. His rigid, dismembered arm. Slam. Flip your sprite. You got to flip it. Turn ways. Sports. In my dream, I am the star. It's me. And then the big man comes for a little one-on-one. But it turns out to be crazy what kind of dunks this guy has. I'm telling you, air like that is unreal. It doesn't even happen. The court is on fire. Dude, come get the ruler. Check this out. Okay, dude, no. You're holding it wrong. Dude, no, dude. Dude, hurry. Look, he's escaping from above. Dude, no, let me show you. No, fuck. No, dude. No. Fuck. Dude, you got to flip it. Turn ways. Fuck. Jesus. Fuck. Dude. Scan the barcode. Wonder what that little pendant means there. I guess we'll never find out. Probably the last time we'll see it. Ugh, this guy again. It's been a long time. Hey, kid. Yeah, you. CG. Boggle vacantly at these shenanigans. It begins to dawn on you that everything you are about to do may prove to have been a colossal waste of time. End intermission. All right. Got through it pretty quickly. That was like maybe an hour and a half. Not bad. Oh, less than that. Sweet. All right. That was the Homestuck intermission. I'm gonna leave it there, and hopefully, I won't have to use my halfway gangster, halfway Australian accent ever again. That would be great. I I think I'm just gonna hang that one up. Oh well. Was fun and caught up to the present. That's how Spade Slick wound up watching the terminal that watches Carcat, that watches John. Oh my god. Corpse kiss times 2 combo. Anyways, I'll see you all on Friday for Cyclonials. And then on Saturday for what's it? Oh right, on Saturday for Homestuck Act 4, which will continue from this point right here. Thanks for coming. Glad I got this one out of the way. It's definitely a bit of a departure from the rest of the stuff, and totally won't be important later. Nope, absolutely not. Bye. Thank you for coming to stream. Bye. Bye.